morning, Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daphne, and today is November 30th of 2023, and I would like to say welcome to any new viewers and subscribers. I hope there's stuff here that you enjoy, and that you would like to continue to follow me on this and continue to see the stitching progress that I continue to make. And I would also like to say welcome back to any current subscribers and viewers. It's great to have everybody back. And we will see what progress I made in November. I don't have the total stitch count at the current moment. I will be putting those across on the screen. I just haven't done those tallies yet. I just figured I had a few minutes now. I'll do it now, get it out of the way, and record the video now instead of waiting till either tomorrow or later in the week. So, with that, we will get started. And the first project that I have here is the Song of Summer by Heaven and Earth Design. So it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Excuse me, the artwork is by Donna Gelsinger, and if you remember correctly, I'm working from the top left and working my way down this column of pages here. So pretty much getting all the flowers and the greenery, not all the flowers, but all the flowers on this side and then greenery. We got a little start on one of the birds in there. So get all the confetti out now. And this one is being stitched on 28 count, easy guide, with the called for DMC 1/1 full cross. I will show you the full. Here's the full currently. And then I worked down this end of it, down over here, just filling in again. It's easier for me to hold it this way. And I believe there's just a few stitches over here, 3 or 4 and 5, that are still on this page. And other than that, majority of it is in that page there. So there's Song of Summer. Enjoying this one, as I do with all of my projects. I enjoy them all. And next up on the list is QS Holiday. I believe I worked on it, but I'll still show it anyway. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Excuse me. And I'm working diagonals from the right hand side going this way. I'm doing a full page and a little bit of a page on the bottom. So we've got a good snowman coming. The sled is coming in really good now. This is 28 count 1/1 full cross, called for DMC Flosses, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is Amy Stewart. QS Holiday, a Stitch in Time, part of the big Stitch in Time shelf. Just that little winter corner. I believe I did it this one, but if I didn't, I didn't, and you just get to see it. So here is the full piece. Bring it a little closer so you can see the full piece. And if I did work on it, it would have been over in this diagonal. So I haven't finished the diagonal yet. A little bit here still left to do on this diagonal. And then here's the sled coming in, and the snowman. There's still a few stitches left in this scarf that I gotta go back in and fill in. Even on this part of the scarf, because I had to take it out. I messed it up, so I had to take it out a while back, and I just restitched it without those colors in. So there is the QS Holiday. And getting good progress. I'll put, like I said, I'll put the stitch counts and the percentages to where it is currently. What it was. This one I do not have a picture, but I can show you this. It's the free year-long stitch-along by Owl Forest Embroidery. These are the parts that where they are when they get released. Excuse me, I'm on part 6. So over on either side is where I'm currently, what I have pulled out. This is 45 count Nightingale, because the color, it's Legacy Linen, doing it 2/2, 2/1. I changed it to DMC Flosses. And this is where it currently is. So yeah, I was working on this gentleman, this character over here, and going from there. So we'll bring him in closer so you can see. I believe I worked on him this month. I think I was bringing this down and working on him all this when I worked on him last. And I finished, I think I did this. I know I did this down here. I don't think there was anything else that I did. There's the Owl Forest Embroidery. And they're almost, the pieces are almost all released on that one. But I didn't stay with it, because I kept I had a big counting error issue, and it just got me frustrated. So I put it away and didn't pick it up until a couple months ago, at that point. So, here's what it is. This one I'll wait for a minute to show you. That's one of the look-go pieces. And this one here is No Man's Stocking. Heaven on Earth Designs is the charted company. I don't remember who the artist is. I believe this is a 28 count linen. I could be wrong. And this is over 50% complete. So here is the whole thing. And then I was working in the section, so almost all the houses are done. I just gotta get the colors, a couple colors for the windows, and then I can fill those in. I'm working on the pathways, and then we've got the big pathway that's coming here, and then we're coming down a tree over here, and then there's going to be many shades of white. So I did the many shades of blue on the top. Now we're coming down to the bottom, and it's going to be the many shades of white. So you can't see there's stitches. There's white stitches in there. Let me see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see those white stitches or not. But there is white stitches in there, I promise. Right there. I promise there's white there. You can see them in person, so. But many shades of white coming, which is fine. I really love these houses. Looking at them now, they just pop. Even though they're different, just blues and whites. You can see them in person, but for some reason when I look at them in the camera, I really like them. This is the church, I think. The big church, and then there's 2 houses in the front and 1 in the back. And like I said, this will be a tree. And then there's a snowman down by the heel, or the toe, somewhere. Somewhere there's a snowman. I hope that this goes this way. I think I left enough room for the toe on this side. We'll see. But that probably toe won't come in until next year. So, snowman stocking. Getting some good getting some good progress each time I work on it, so that's always good. And then next up we have the sunflowers, Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Marion Bloom. And this piece I'm working the top row of pages from left to right, picking the symbols. I made a milestone on this one as well. So I'm working over this area here. And this is 28 count, 1/1 full cross, called for DMCs. And we gotta fold it up here because I reused a piece of paper. I was working on something, piece of fabric. I was working on something on the other side, and I decided not gonna work on that any longer. So here is the one fold. Hang on, please. Okay, there we go. Here's the entire piece. Milestone. I reached the right corner. The right corner. We have left corner, right corner. This maybe 1 or 2 stitches, but this is the whole width of this piece. So I'll have a lot of fabric over here, and I will fold this up so that I'll show you where I was working. So this is the last full page here, and this mark is the page mark, and so there's just a little bit over here. So I was like, you know what, does it make sense to just do this and leave 15-ish stitches all the way down the page? I just did it across. So each row of pages down, this last one will be a page, and whatever this row is of here. So officially have reached the right side, so we do know how wide this piece is going to be. And I believe that there'll be another little bit of this background color down on the bottom. Well, the next row of pages over here. Maybe a little bit on the next row over here, but then after that it's all the flowers. Be no more background. It'll all be flowers. So it worked over just basically over here. I didn't do anything in here, as this was where the stitches were left empty. So we did that, and I believe this is the full 10 lines, so we'll be coming back over here the next time it gets pulled out and working these, and then we'll come down over here, which would probably be a little more background. I think I've got a ways to go before I come back over to the flower, to the leaf. So I was very excited to hit that milestone on this piece. Any little milestone is good on these bigger pieces for me. And up next, put that over there. I worked this on Thanksgiving, I know that. I don't have per se a Thanksgiving piece, but I did work on golden pumpkins. This was the just cross stitch October 23 issue, and I'm doing it on black but I'm doing it on 14 count instead of 18 count. So mine's going to be bigger, which is fine. 2 strands over 1 DMC called for, or I changed the color to something that was close to what the color was, because I didn't have the color when I started. And we got some pretty good progress. The pumpkin is complete, I believe. Let me just double check. So I believe the pumpkin is complete. Yeah, except for what's in the... There's some fill-in in the P here that I need to do. Maybe down here as well. I think it's just the P in the P. You can't tell, but there's a dark green outlined of the P and the U and the M and this other P. I believe. Yeah, P. And these are all parked for the next page. And I started coming up and working on the border. And as I was doing the white, as you can see, there's still white left on my string. As I was doing the white, I realized when I got over here that this was not the same as this, and this was not the same as this. So this set of stitches here, I just need to push it over by 1 stitch. So I marked it on the chart so that when I pull this out next time, whether that's next month, next year, whenever it comes back out, that I know that I need to fix that. So we marked that down. And yeah, so it's page this way, a little bit on the bottom, and another page on the bottom, little bits, which is just border repeating. Yeah, it's just the border that repeats on the top and the bottom. That's on the second page. Going this way. So, there's golden pumpkins. I'm stitching this one in hand. 14 count black Ada. 2 strands over 1. I really love this pumpkin. Really cute pumpkin. So, been enjoying that as well. And next up is, don't have a picture because it's a mystery Christmas stitch along, but it's Doreen Jones, and I'm using 28 count lamb's wool. This is the one I'm using for it. Doing it 2 over 2. Full cross. DMCs, if I didn't have the call for, I subbed something that was close. Part 4 was last week. And I finished that. And part 5 comes tomorrow. They're on Friday releases. The first release, technically part 5, release 5 has already been, because we already had 5. But fill-in 5 has not been done yet. First one was the border with all of the outlines of the motifs. I did not get that done before the releases started of the individual squares. I got this one done, this one, and started this one, the white, but I did not do this one here. So when this release came out, the 4th release, 4th motif, I just did 1 strand of the lighter green to get me started. Then I did all the fill-in in here, color by color. I did this light blue, the darker blue, the light blue, then I did the white, then I did the browns, the reds. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter which way I went. I did color by color. I filled it in. This part 1, I still gotta go in and finish filling in. part 3 I gotta finish filling in. So what I'm thinking that I'm doing is when 5 comes out, I think 5's at this one here, from here up to the top, I'll work on 5. If I don't get 5 finished before 6 comes out, then when 6 comes out, I'll work on 6. And then when 6 is done, then I'll go through and finish, maybe I'll go backwards, 5, 3, 1, border, whichever way I want to do it. But if I finish the part when the part comes out before the next release comes out, then fine. If I don't finish it, then I will just do the that release. So like I said, if I don't get 5 finished before next Friday, when 6 comes out, then I'll just move on to 6 and then backtrack and finish it up. I think it would be a cute little pillow. I'll put on my rocking chair with my other Christmas pillow. So there's the Doreen Jones Christmas 2023 Sal. I'm enjoying this, so I might have to do more of this designer's work at some point. This is what I like about the Sals. You can decide if you like the designer's artwork or the designer's designs and such. So this one here is Pandemic, Long Dog Samplers. I know everybody has seen the completed image of this one. This is on 30 count barley corn by Access Commodities, and I'm using Mrs. Sada's silk in hydrangea. And I'm still working on this first. I divided my hank. Excuse me. I divided the hank into thirds, and I'm still using the first third of one hank. I bought 2. So, I think I'll have plenty once you see where I am. 60-ish%, I believe, somewhere in that area. And doing this 1/1 full cross. So first we will go, here's the whole piece. Oh, go this way. Here you go. Whole piece, top to bottom. And I still have all that on the bottom. So let me just fold this up, give you where I was working, which basically was, it didn't work on this side, it was here. This is where I was working, right here. Just working in this band. Like I said, I didn't do much on this side of this. So the way I'm doing it now is I'm just working these last 2 pages. Do these 2 pages. Over here, do these 2 pages. Over here, do these 2 pages. And that'll get it finished. It would be nice to finish in 24. Maybe I'll finish 25. Who knows? But there it is. I still have some of the backstitch to do. I started in the beginning. Then I completely then I'll just get it later. There's some things I might just not backstitch. But these people up here, they look weird without their facial outlines. It's, you know, just a couple strands that need to be done in there to make their faces. But we'll see what I do. Because like I said, up here in the top, I had done some of the outline, the back stitches. So some of them I might do, some that are probably the smaller ones I might not do, or the ones that are compact might not get as much detail in them. but that's okay. And the last piece, and I'm going to show you that I worked on, there's more, but I'll do those after the Whipco pieces. This one is the Game of Thrones. I was kind of hoping that I could get a row complete this year. There's still like a page and a half left. Don't think I'm going to get that done in a month. I don't think I could get 8,000 plus stitches in a month on this particular one piece. If it was a different month than December, maybe. But here is where the Game of Thrones piece is currently. I have all the parked threads that were in this diagonal all stitched in, and they're all over here, and I'm just starting to fill in the empty spaces in the diagonal. So we're getting there, slowly but surely, slowly getting this last bit of parked threads in the next couple diagonals. This one is over 50% complete. No real plans to when I finish this. I think there's like 3-4 more rows of pages. So if I do a row a year, I would still have, what, like 4 to 5 years left on this piece. So 2027 is 4 years. 2028 is 5 years. And I've been working on this since 2019. So we've got a little ways to go on this piece still. Would like to be able to free up my 11 by 11 frame, but the 8 by 8 is too small. But enjoying this piece. Don't know what I'll do when it's done. You know, I've been working on this, like I said, since 2019. Yeah. And it's fun to see these people, the characters, come to life in the picture, in the stitching as I'm stitching it. So there's Game of Thrones 28 count 1/1 with the call for DMC. Alright, next up here we've got my Whipco pieces for November. The first Whipco piece was the Cinderella Castle. The Art of Disney. This is Stony Creek Collection is the company. I think these were ones that were like Disneyland, possibly purchase only at Disneyland. I'm not sure. I know they are not available anymore. And I'm working from left to right a row across the bottom first. And I got my 10 days, so I'm using the called for everything, called for floss, called for fabric. There's a 14 count. Excuse me, Navy Ada. And I don't believe it's going to take this whole piece, but I could be wrong. So here is the whole piece, where it's those up there. Okay, so here's the whole piece in its entirety. So it is from the bottom over here on the left all the way over here is complete. Excuse me, with the cross stitches. There is some back stitching done in it on the bottom. And what I'm doing is I'm taking up until the page break, I've gone over the page break a little bit, What I've been doing is take the excuse me, because the way I had my frame, it was the 8 by 11 one that I have, so I had it going on the horizontal. So I was working, I'd take the first symbol that wasn't stitched in that row and just work that floss in. Go to the next symbol that wasn't worked in. So that's why there's some of, Tinkerbell's glitter dust and some of the fireworks. And then there is some backstitching done in the part of the castle here. Up here there's some backstitching. I need to come back down here and finish the backstitching down here, which I kind of want to do beforehand. There's some gold backstitching up here in the fencing, the fence area. This is backstitched. There's a little bit of, when I was working on it beforehand, at a different time, I did get a little backstitching in this section here, so I gotta come over here and finish out the backstitch on this part and do the brown fence, I believe. So maybe the next time I pull it out, which will be 2024, the first thing I'll do is I'll just throw it on the frame and get that backstitch done on this part. So then as I'm working up, I can just backstitch my way. There's no backstitch in the trees or the ground, mostly on the castle. So there is Cinderella's castle. And my whip goal for November was met. And this one will go away until, like I said, until 24 at some point. And my other whip goal was a piece from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I do not have a cover photo because when I got this as a kit, it was a Mystery Sal 2021, I want to say. I don't believe there's a copyright date. There's just, I believe this was 2021, around that time frame. It was their Made to Create Sal. And my goal was to finish, because I did not have a lot left to do. And I am proud to say that it is finished. Because when I pulled it out, the only things... Sorry, I stitched it in hand. We're rolling it from the bottom up, so... And I haven't pressed it or anything. So when I started this month, I had part of this top border was done, but not all the way across. So I had part of the top border to do, I had this corner piece to do, I had to finish the T, I had to do the E completely, the side border here, I believe I had to finish out part of the bottom border and do the bobbin with the floss coming out, and that was it that I had to do. That took me about 4 days maybe to finish. So I knew that it wasn't going to take long to finish it out. I used the called for the kit fabric because I bought it as a kit with the DMC flosses. One thing I do have to say, with my first completed caterpillar, this is all the floss that was left. I'm sure that I could probably do, I don't know if there would be enough to do another whole one, but there's definitely enough flosses. And these are DMCs, so I can just get the DMC numbers, which they're on the color key, and mark them on here, put this in my stash, and then when I need just a couple little pieces, I can just use this instead of going and buying a whole new skein. So this bag will become, I will unkit this bag, put this, and get this pressed and hung and ready for the finished pile. So next I'm going to show you, talk to you, my Whipco pieces for December was, or is, the Scent of Old Roses, which I had already previously finished this year, so that one I can finally mark off on the Whipco board. And the next piece is 10 Days on the Winter Chores by Elsa Williams. So this one will get worked on for 10 days, and this is where we are using the called for kit fabric and everything. So this is where it is currently at. I don't know where I'll work on it, which section I'll work on. I can pretty much go anywhere. And we'll see where this gets to in December. I did not pull all of my Christmas or winter whips, because those are the ones that I'm going to work on in December. The exception of the weekends, Monday through Friday, I will, put all of my Christmas or winter whips on a wheel, and I will spin the wheel to see which project I'm going to work on for that, my afternoon stitching. So it be. And then my evening stitching in one of the other groups, they're doing a challenge, Advent style challenge, and they had 3 different options to do. And they had one option, they usually stitch 100 stitches a day on one project. So that one project is the snowman stocking. So that one will get at least 100 stitches in a day. No less. I can do more, but they won't count towards the thing. So I figured that would get me some pretty good progress on that one. And the weekends, on Fridays, I will spin my full coverage slash pattern keeper compatible patterns, and those will be the ones that I work. That whatever one the wheel spins, that will be the one that worked on for the weekend, except for snowman stocking. If that one gets spun, I'll spin again for a different one, because I'll be giving it approximately 2,500 stitches in December, because the Advent one goes from tomorrow until the 25th with extra days at the end. And then New Year's Eve. Be on the lookout for another video that will be going over my 12 by 12 plans, and I'll probably include my Whipco board at that point. I already have all my 12 by 12 projects picked out. They've got their floss. I didn't completely kit them up. I just put in a few colors of floss that is needed to get started, because you figure by the time you get your fabric in your hoop or your frame or whatever you're stitching it with, if you're stitching in hand, and you get that first stitch, you've already got like 10 minutes in already. So I don't need all 10, 15, 20 colors, if that's how many colors they need for New Year's Eve. So I got those all in one project bag, and I'll just pull one out. One of them is a larger piece, some of them are smaller pieces. It's just a mix of different things. I do have one that I need to get some flosses, some Ari floss for. Other than that, those are the 12 by 12 New Year's Eve, and I do have a New Year, New Start. I'm thinking of doing a Stitch With Me on New Year's Day when I start that. I don't know how long it will be if I do it. it probably won't be very long, half hour, 45 minutes. Just getting in those first few stitches with everybody, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens in the new year. There will also be coming up the end of year whip parade, probably that week between Christmas and New Year's. And we'll get that going as well. And with that, I will say I hope everybody has a great day. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate in the United States. And I will see everybody in the next one. Alright, have a great one, everyone. Bye.